Hello, Australia. Lying Albo here. National Invasion Day, sorry Australia Day is upon us once again. And with Penny's new hate speech laws coming into force, Australians need to remember that many people, including Penny and myself, find Australia Day offensive. Celebrating it too loudly, too proudly, or too passionately causes harm.
That's right. I am Penny Wrong, the Minister for Foreigners, and I know better than all of you, who I believe to be true Australians find the day offensive. True Australians understand it as the day the British stole Australia from Aboriginal people. People need to keep that in mind and not offend others on Australia Day by saying things like facts.
For example, stating that the current Labour government is bringing in over 1,000 migrants a day. According to the ABS, therefore, colonizing Australia in greater numbers than ever before.
And anyone claiming those people are stealing Aboriginal land, or questioning what that means for Australia, will be dealt with under my hate speech laws. We do not want to hear facts, such as mass immigration places pressure on infrastructure and resources, or how it increases house and rental prices. Let me be clear, language and facts like that will not be tolerated.
That's right, due to our moral authority and self-righteousness. We are allowed to bring in as many people as we want. Yes, there may be correlations between mass immigration and negative impacts upon the Australian people, but pointing that out is dangerous to you. If you say terrible things like Australians first, you could find yourself in real trouble. As never forget we the socialist Labour government deem what is and what is not offensive.
Take note of the new Australia. Pride in being Australian for generations is frowned upon. We still allow you to have one day to celebrate. But if your pride in Australia continues to offend the likes of me, then it will be taken away.
We don't care that your ancestors built this nation. We find statements like that offensive. Meanwhile, people who openly despise you are free to protest because their voices matter more. On Australia Day, the Aboriginal people will not be encouraged to display unity with other Australians. Instead, they are encouraged to protest, as will pro-Palestine supporters and those who wish to push non-Australian ideals. Despite non-protest laws being in place, as surely you realize by now laws are not universal in Australia, a fact of which I am extremely proud.
Surely you Australians have worked out by now where our priorities lie. Showing pride in the traditional values and beliefs of Australians is permitted for one day a year, and I feel that is too much. But pride in being a part of the homosexual and alphabet people is far more cherished by myself and what I call true Australians. Many people believe we have gone too far. We don't care. Religious objections? Also irrelevant. Even in this case, when it comes to Islamic beliefs, as I decide whose beliefs have priority in this country, I decide the pecking order. Additionally, if you are offended by almost naked people dancing through the streets of Sydney and find much of their behavior repulsive, you had better not state that publicly, as you will run foul of my hate speech laws. Mardi Gras is the greatest day of the year. It is far more important than Australia Day.
Penny is right. I feel Mardi Gras is the greatest day every year in Australia. Alan and I enjoy it tremendously. Additionally, Black History Month is more important. We do not want to hear about white history in Australia. Unless we are criticizing white people from the past. NAIDOC Week is more important. Chinese New Year is more important. Ramadan is more important, which we both proudly attend.
Celebrating immigrants like myself is also more important, as even though I hold a position of high power in this country, I am never held to account, unless of course Linda Reynolds gets her way. I am allowed to make toxic statements against whoever I like, and become instantly offended if anyone dares question me. As an immigrant, I have not had a fair go in this country. Do not mention non-assimilation of immigrant communities. Do not mention immigrant enclaves. Do not mention rises in youth gangs from African nations in Melbourne, or the increase of Islamic terrorism in Australia. Those are factual statements. And we refuse to face the reality of such statements, so therefore they are unacceptable. And hate speech.
Exactly. Facts that contradict our beliefs are hate speech. The sooner Australians understand that pride in being a traditional type of Australian, someone who believes in mateship, a fair go, honoring the Anzacs and the first colonists who built this nation is not a part of our beliefs, the better. Because our goal isn't just to end Australia Day, it's to reshape how Australians think.
Take the hint, Australia. It is in your best interests to do so. As you will soon discover, my hate speech laws are far more dangerous to Australians and free speech than you know.
So remember this Australia Day. Don't celebrate the ANZACs. Don't celebrate the history of Australia. Don't celebrate freedom. We don't like those things.
We're in charge now.
And we know better.